Namaste Jevins, myself Jevin Dr. Barka Khurana. Today we'll be talking about properties of cardiac muscle. In previous sessions, we have already discussed about anatomy and a few properties of cardiac muscles. In this session, we will be discussing it in detail. This is a part of your curriculum for physiology and is important for BPT, BRIT, and B optometry students of first semester. So let us start with the properties of cardiac muscle. Here we will be studying about the cardiac muscles in detail, their functioning, their layers, their divisions, muscle action potential and all. See, in previous sessions, I have already discussed about the three layers of the heart: epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. They are surrounded by pericardium. The space between the two, between the pericardium, parietal and visceral, is the pericardial space that is filled with fluid. Here you can see the diagram. The pink one is the myocardium. This one is the endocardium. Then we have parietal and visceral layers of serous pericardium. This is a section which is showing us the layers in detail. We have fibrous and serous pericardium. We have this large muscle bulk, which is the myocardium. This is the diagram of the muscle of cardiac muscle fiber. We have cut it and we are showing it under the microscope. See, here you can see these purple ones as a nucleus. This is sarcolemma. This blue one is the cardiac muscle fiber. These are the mitochondria. If we discuss about histological properties of cardiac muscle fibers, they exhibit branching and they are joined through intercalated disc. Now, these intercalated discs have two junctions, desmosomes and gap junctions. The gap junctions allow action potential to spread from one cell to adjacent cells. See, this is the thing. Here you can see the desmosome, this diagram where the arrow is. Then we have gap junction. Gap junction allows action potential from one cell to another. This is blue arrow is the action potential. This is one muscle fiber, this is the other one. So action potential is passing from gap junction to the other muscle fiber. And the heart functions as syncytium, like when one cardiac cell undergoes action potential that helps in transmission of impulse, the electrical impulse spread to other cells that are joined by gap junction. And simultaneously, all these fibers become excited and contract as a single functional syncytium. We have two syncytiums, atrial and ventricular syncytium. See, 99% myocardium is the contractile muscle fiber, and 1% is excitatory and conductive muscle fiber. They are autorhythmic, like they're contracting and relaxing without any voluntary control. These are the properties: autorhythmicity, excitability, conductivity, and contractility. Autorhythmicity means they are able to initiate heartbeat continuously, regularly. Excitability means the ability to respond to a stimulus of adequate strength and duration. Conductivity means they are able to conduct excitation. Then contractility means they can contract whenever a stimulus is given. Then we'll be discussing this in detail, autorhythmicity. As I told you, heart muscles beat continuously without taking a rest. It can be myogenic, like they are independent of nerve supply. They have special conductive system that leads to waves of depolarization leading to cardiac impulses. And this forms 1% of cardiac muscle fibers. The two important functions are it acts as a pacemaker, which pacemaker means which sets the rhythm of electrical excitation, and it forms a conductive system. Now these are the locations: SA node, AV node, bundle of His, Purkinje fibers. We have discussed this in anatomy of heart also. Here you can see SA node, AV node, bundle of His, Purkinje fibers, where all these are placed. Now how it occurs? They do not have any resting membrane potential. They keep on moving. Gradual depolarization reaches threshold, leading to spontaneous action potential generation. You can see the rate of generation of action potential at different sites: SA node, AV bundle, bundle of His, Purkinje fibers. This is the rate of generation of action potential. Now SA node is the pacemaker of the heart because it has a faster rate of generation of action potential. Now nerve impulses from autonomic nerve system and hormones, they can modify the timing and strength of each heartbeat. Here you can see the diagram. Second, excitability, like they respond to a stimulus of adequate strength and duration, and action potential is initiated to SA node, which travels along conductive pathway, and it excites the atrial and ventricular muscle fibers. Here you can see this graph. Then the important one is refractory period. It has a long refractory period of 250 milliseconds. During this period, membrane is refractory to further stimulation until contraction is over. It lasts longer than muscle contraction and prevents tetanus. It gives time to heart to relax after each contraction, and thus it prevents fatigue. Fatigue is when the muscle is unable to contract further. So this refractory period gives the time of relaxation to heart so that the muscles of the heart do not get fatigued or get tired. Next is contractility. This is the ability of muscle to contract in response to stimulus. Here you can see how it is almost similar to skeletal muscles. You can see this diagram. Action potential in cardiac contractile muscle, which travels down the T tubules. Then there is entry of small amount of calcium ions from extracellular fluid, leading to release of amount of calcium from sarcoplasmic reticulum. Then there is increased systolic calcium and so on, leading to, then there is sliding of the filaments leading to contraction of the heart muscle. Next is conductivity. It means property by which excitation is conducted through the cardiac tissue. See, this is the diagram, frontal plane view. Here you can see all the parts: SA node, AV node, bundle of His, Purkinje fibers. Now if we talk about criteria for spread of excitation, atrial excitation and contraction should be complete because it ensures complete filling of ventricles during diastole. We have discussed about diastole and systole in our previous sessions. The excitation of cardiac muscle should be coordinated, like it should be smooth, uniform contraction, which is important to squeeze out the blood. Then pair of atria and pair of ventricles should be functionally coordinated, like they should contract simultaneously because then pumping of blood is synchronized properly. Here you can see the conducting system of the heart. As I told you before, SA node, from here it passes to internodal pathways, then to AV node, then AV bundle, a bundle of His, then bundle branches, then to Purkinje fibers. What happens? The SA node depolarizes, then electrical activity goes rapidly to AV node through internodal pathways. Then depolarization spreads more slowly across atria. Conduction slows through AV node. Now this depolarization, which is coming from the SA node, it moves rapidly through ventricular conducting system to the apex of the heart. See, this is all that I had told you. This is all in the session. I hope you understood this session. And if you have any doubts, you can post a comment. And this session is part by Digital 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.